everybody. So if you're considering a GLP-1 medication for weight loss, it's normal to have concerns. Some are common side effects, while others involve the cost, lifestyle changes, long-term treatment. There's a variety of different things that people are concerned about to varying levels. And I want to talk today about a bunch of the concerns that exist. Some of them might apply to you, some of them might not. Who knows? So my name is Karen, and this is the GLP-1 Diaries. And on this channel, I'm talking about my journey using a GLP-1 medication for weight loss. And as I mentioned, today I want to talk about some of the common concerns that people have. So I'm going to be looking down quite a bit because I have a list. So some of the common side effects include nausea, especially when you're increasing a dose or you're just starting. Other common side effects are vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, one extreme or the other, heartburn or acid reflux, bloating, gas. Some people, or one of the common side effects is you feel overly full after you've eaten only a small amount of food, or you have fatigue or low energy during especially the first few weeks. So some of my experiences, granted I don't have a lot of experience with this yet. I'm just new to starting this. When I'm filming this, I am a week and a half into the process. I've taken my second shot 4 days ago. I have experienced very little by the way of nausea. A little bit here and there, but not much at all. I thankfully have not experienced any vomiting or diarrhea or constipation. I haven't really felt any of the other main ones. Vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, bloating, and gas. None of those have bothered me at all. They may over time, but right now, so far so good. I do feel full almost all the time. I'm not interested in eating much because I feel full. And if I eat too much, then I'm uncomfortable and I don't like that feeling. I have, however, felt some fatigue and low energy, especially the first week, the first 4 or 5 days. I just had no energy. I was so ready for a nap at any given time. Absolutely ready for a nap. The second big category of concerns are medical concerns. There are a variety of side effects that this medication can create, or this group of medications can create. It can result in a risk of gallstones if you have rapid weight loss. I will not experience that because I've already gone through that and over 20 years ago. I had gallstones and I had to have my gallbladder out. And it was not due to weight loss. It was just because, as my mom, who's a nurse, said at the time, it was because of basically the 3 F's. I'm fair, I'm fat, and I was in my 40s. So that's one of the things that is common for gallbladder problems. You're fair, fat, and 40. And female is a fourth one that often is factored into that. So I'm not concerned about gallstones. I won't get them again. They're gone. Other medical concerns, there's a possibility of inflammation of the pancreas. That's not common. There is one of the things that this group of medications do is that it results in a delayed stomach emptying, which they call gastroparesis. and that can be problematic for some people. It can also result in a loss of muscle mass if the weight loss is rapid and you don't have adequate protein intake, or you're not doing a lot by way of strength training. I'm making sure that I'm getting a fair bit of protein. I'm also making sure that I'm getting a fair bit of fiber to prevent the constipation part, the potential for that. I'm also getting some aerobic exercise by spending time on my treadmill, and I'm also starting to incorporate a little bit of weight training, and that I'm going to build on that over time. Another medical concern is if your food intake becomes too low because of feeling full all the time, there's the possibility that you're not getting enough nutrients. I am making a point of taking a multivitamin every day, and hopefully that will mitigate any potential for that. I'm trying to keep my diet well-rounded and making sure I'm getting plenty of fruit and veggies, plenty of protein, and plenty of enough fiber. And sixth, I can't count. I don't know how to count apparently. Another concern medical-wise is there's concerns about the possibility of thyroid problems. And one of the things you'll see, and they'll talk to you about when you are considering starting this medication, is if you have a medical history or a family history of certain types of thyroid cancers and problems like that, it might put you at a higher risk. A third group of concerns are lifestyle concerns. And starting and taking a GLP-1 medication is going to result in lifestyle changes. One of the things that you're going to have to contend with is giving yourself a weekly injection if you use an injectable GLP-1 medication. So you have to be okay with giving yourself a jab. It's probably less of an issue if you're using a pen, because that you don't see anything. I don't have any icks about needles. I don't know if I'd be keen if I had to draw out the medication from a vial and then actually see the syringe and see the needle going into my skin. I might not enjoy that as much, but using a pen has not been an issue. But that is a concern for a lot of people, is having to give yourself a weekly injection. Another lifestyle concern is learning to eat differently, because large meals can cause discomfort. And I found that out, especially in the first week. I was eating too much and too quickly, and I didn't really pace myself, for lack of a better word, I didn't pace myself, and I didn't cut back on the quantity of things I was eating. And it did result in some discomfort because I ate too much, and I just felt, yeah. So I'm learning to eat less. I'm learning that if we go out to eat a medium amount, but I'm learning to order smaller portions, or I'm learning that the hubby and I can share a meal, or decide that I'm going to be taking leftovers home. And I've been doing that a fair bit. I take at least half of my food home with me. So another lifestyle concern is managing potential side effects you have while you're working or traveling. Now, I'm going to be traveling over the next while, and I'm not going to be at home. I'm going to be staying with family that live a fair distance away from me. So I'm going to have to learn to manage any side effects I might have. Thankfully, they've been minimal, if anything, and I'm not too concerned about that one for myself personally. Another lifestyle concern is dealing with other people. That's like a lack of a better way of phrasing that. Feeling pressure from others who don't understand the medication, or who are against the medication or don't understand it. And there is a potential for people to be critical of it. I'm not concerned. My husband is 100% on board with me taking this medication. I'm going to be visiting family, so my mom is 100% in favor of me doing this. My sister, unless my mom told her, my sister doesn't know about it yet, but her husband takes Ozempic for diabetes. So, and I take Wegovy, and they're the same thing. So she understands people using it. So I'm not really concerned that I'm going to be facing much pressure from others. Another major category of concerns are financial concerns. This stuff is not inexpensive. So there's a high monthly cost if your insurance does not cover it. And that can result in a lot of people not being able to take the medication. There are not really ways around it, but there are options for individuals. Like my insurance does not cover it, period. And my doctor the pharmacy she deals with have a good program for people to get this medication. Another financial concern is just dealing with the insurance approval and prior authorization requirements. So this might be something that's required. With me, it was like, okay, it's not approved, period. It's an exclusion. I didn't have to go through any of those hoops. There's also a concern for people who are concerned that they might lose coverage after they've started treatment. Oh, my air conditioner finally slowed down. I apologize for the noise. But there is a concern for people who are covered through their insurance that they might either lose their coverage, or their insurance plan might change the coverage conditions and things. And another concern can be supply shortages and difficulty finding the medication, particularly at a reasonable cost. And another category, I have 3 more categories. Another category is, or a concern people might have, are just long-term questions that people have. You might ask, like, if I stop taking the medication, will I regain weight? How long do I need to stay on the medication? Individuals might be concerned about whether there are long-term effects of taking it for many years. Like, are those long-term effects understood yet, or not? And another long-term concern could be that, will my body become used to it and make it less effective over time? And I know people are thinking that, okay, if you can only up the dosages a certain amount and then you're maxed out. If your body becomes used to it, or you adjust to it, is it going to be as effective as it has been? So those are things that people might be concerned about and thinking about, like, what does happen? And these kind of things are going to vary for everybody. From what a lot of the research I've looked at suggests is that a lot of people do not regain the weight afterwards because they've adjusted their lifestyles. They eat less, they eat more healthy, all this kind of thing. So they've learned behaviors that are going to help them maintain weight loss. They've increased their exercise and strength training, which is going to help. So long-term questions, I don't know if there's really any good answers to those. There's also emotional and social concerns. Some people are going to feel guilty about using medication to lose weight. And I don't My honest feels, I don't really care what other people think about what I do for my own health and well-being. I don't feel guilty about taking this medication to lose weight. My biggest regret is that I didn't start sooner. And it is what it is. I can't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna move on. So some people might feel guilty about using this medication to lose weight. Some people might worry that others will judge them for taking the easy way out. And any of us that are taking this medication, we know it's not the easy way. It's not like you're taking a needle that's going to make the weight just disappear from you without you having to do anything else. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. We all wished it did, but it does not. Another concern is that, or another emotional or social concern is fear of failing again if the medication doesn't work as you hoped. It doesn't work perfectly for some people. There's an emotional concern, it's just an anxiety about loose skin afterwards. If you've had a significant weight loss, you're probably going to have some loose skin. I know I'm going to have loose skin. I'm older, I'm 61 years old. I've been overweight for a long time. My belly is not going to bounce back to where it was when I was in my 20s. It's not going to happen. I'm going to have excess skin. I know that. I'll deal with that as needed when I get to that point. There's also individuals that have a concern about changes in their appearance, such as a loss of facial fullness or developing an Ozempic face. There's a concern about changes in your body composition. And part of that's going to tie in with the loose skin issue. But a lot of these emotional and social concerns are things that you can think, well, it's not on someone else to worry about what I'm doing. And the final category of concerns are just some of the practical concerns. And one of them is just remembering to take the medication consistently. I have set an alarm on my watch so that it goes off at 6 p.m. every Friday. So I remember to take my medication on Friday evening. Because I took the first dose on a Friday evening. I'm going to continue taking them on Friday evenings now. So I've set an alarm on my watch. So I will remember to take my medication every Friday. Another practical concern is managing your medications around any potential surgeries or medical procedures. And this ties into the fact that, oh, the sun's gone behind a cloud, I'm losing some of my light. Anyway, this is because where food going through your digestive system has slowed down and your stomach emptying has changed, it might end up with you having to stop taking your medication for a period of time if you need to have a surgical procedure or a medical procedure that requires anesthesia. Another practical concern is finding that right dose that balances how effective the medication is with managing your side effects. So I haven't got to that concern yet because I'm still on the lowest dosage, and that's manageable with the side effects. I'm not seeing a huge weight loss. I'm not expecting to see a huge weight loss because it's probably not the healthiest. And another practical concern is just understanding how this medication fits into a long-term plan that includes healthy eating, physical activity, and other lifestyle habits. And this ties into the long-term questions. We need to recognize that we have to make long-term decisions about our health, that we have to fit this all together to make everything work as well as it can, so that we're getting the optimal benefits out of this and that it's going to last us long term. So those are a bunch, there's probably close to 40 overall concerns that I looked at here, but they're kind of things to, a little bit of food for thought. Here we go, let's talk about food when we're supposed to be watching what we're eating. Anyway, they're just some concerns that we might want to think about as we're moving our way through beginning and using a GLP-1 medication, or considering using a GLP-1 medication. So I know for myself, the majority of those concerns I'm not going to let them bother me. I'm going to I'm going to enjoy the experience, enjoy the process of adapting to this, learning how best to manage using this medication and improving my health. So on that note, I hope you found this helpful or beneficial or interesting. If you have not yet done so, I would love it if you would subscribe to my teeny tiny channel, hit the notification bell, like, comment, all those YouTube-y things, so that maybe I get shown into the YouTube algorithm a little bit more often. And I thank you so much for spending some time with me. Alrighty, take care everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.